Hello guys and welcome back, it's me Hazonic and I'm continuing our Rising Lords story mode series. So it's been about 2 weeks since I last played, but I have not forgot what we endured. Poor Tancred. Was this guy Rundorf? Yeah, Rundorf here, the brigand. Matek sacrificing himself. We need to get out of here quick before those brigands catch up to us. And that is where we go, the Great Escape. So heading off into the mountainside, I believe that area down there was supposed to be, what, wasn't it supposed to be like our previous barony? That's just been burnt to the ground, I can't remember. But either way, something's happened there. Anyway, we've got a little text bit here. The path leads through the forest up the mountain. Scattered soldiers and peasants emerge from the shadows and join the procession. Many desperately ask after relatives, but most are met only with a weary shrug. They reach a clearing in the forest. Knights, soldiers and peasants sit together in small groups. All are exhausted and there are many wounded among them. At the edge of the clearing, a lone figure stands looking down at Tannheim as it burns down in the valley. Tancred moves to stand beside her. Ava looks at him and caresses his cheek with an ice-cold hand. "Where's your brother?" she asks softly. Tancred answers hesitantly. "He's safe in Medino, Camillo." "Tancred," his mother looks at him sadly. "You can't hide anything from me. Please tell me the truth." It tells her how the Gothicans attacked Pontefra and how Rykard was gravely injured in the middle of the church. How they fled through Pontefra, ended up losing sight of each other on the lake. Ava looks at the flames over Tannheim for a long time, and her eyes fill with tears. "Without Rykard, we are lost. The house of Tannheim is lost," she finally says in a brittle voice. Tancred wants to encourage her. He feels helpless and lost himself. Her voice draws his attention. Garm, the old hunter. "Tancred, we must be on our way. They'll be looking for us. I know a way that leads over the pass to the north. It's the only way left. Gather everyone together, children, elders and women in the centre. After everyone has formed a caravan, count those gathered. There are about 30 archers, 5 knights on foot, 50 men with spears, 40 able-bodied peasants, and about 3 times as many children, old people and women." Egbert gives the signal to leave. Tancred has to take his mother by the hand and lead her away. So, we're heading back. Again, we've got 600 food now it's sending us, and Tancred and his entourage must escape the pursuers. So, I'm not sure how this food system works. I don't know if it's just like a set amount we lose every time, and if we make certain, maybe there's like decisions that come up along the way, and if we make certain ones, we lose more food. Here we go. The pass. The exhausting path winds slowly up the hills, becoming narrower and steeper. The pass of Pontius should be further ahead, Garm says. Tancred remembers his old teacher, women's stories of the pass. Lyrian prince had found it long ago and used it to raid the northern tribes of the Sepharu. I can't really say that word. But his legions were defeated and the prince met a tragic end. Now the pass is rarely used due to the dangerous conditions and dwindling contact with the north of Oberlin. The condition of the path gets worse the higher they go, and the wind gets colder and icier. Darkness slowly falls and the vision gradually worsens. Jorn grabs Tancred's shoulder. "Down there, torches. We're being followed. We're too slow." They try to pick up the pace, but it's dangerous. One of the wagons starts to slide, heading towards the precipice, but Jorn and Tancred stop it just in time. The wind has turned into a blizzard. They're forced to stop under an overhang. They know the weather will also force their pursuers to stop. Tancred considers their supply levels. They'll need more strength than they currently have. He feels exhausted. Ooh, so there is little decisions as expecting it. Feed everyone or conserve supplies. So guys, what do we think? I'm personally thinking feed everyone. The reasoning is because if we go into a battle, it's extremely likely we're going to die anyway. So you might as well eat all our food instead of the brigands eating it, but also eating the food makes it more likely we'll be stronger and fitter to be able to traverse the path. It also means less food to be carried, so it means maybe some of the wagons can be abandoned. So I'm going to feed everyone. They huddled closely around the tiny fires they struggled to light. First they worried the fires might give them away, but the snowfall is heavy enough to disguise their movements, so they feel safe for now. Eat their rations and rest for a little while. Tancred doesn't even notice his eyes falling shut. Sleep is feverish and restless. The faces of Matek, Rykard and his father flit through his fitful dreams, as if they are calling to him. Sometimes they seem mournful, sometimes cheering and laughing. When he awakes, most of the others have already packed their things. They continue on their way. 200 food, but we get extra morale. Okay, now on to the next checkpoint. In the mountains, they continue over the pass. The wind drains every ounce of strength from their bones. A distant rumble catches their attention. They have to keep moving. The animals in front of the wagons keep shying away from the cliff, afraid of the abyss. They need the wagons. There is no other way to transport the old, the weak, and the provisions. Suddenly, the rumbling becomes a loud roar, an avalanche. It sweeps through their caravan, taking down everything in its path. The air is filled with snow, and they are good as blind. When the snow finally settles, the pass behind them is gone, replaced by a massive wall of snow. It's completely silent, with nothing but the howling wind. But then, they're all startled by another ominous rumbling above them. Is there another avalanche? Oh gosh. Potentially another avalanche. If we're trying to dig for survivors, then the avalanche might take us. I'm going to have to say move on quickly. They'll die if another avalanche hits. They stop everyone digging and run on. Behind them, more avalanches come thundering down the mountain. They race through the pass, hoping to escape these cursed mountains soon. 10 morale gone. Oh gosh. We also lost a lot of food, and we lost some people there, but we need to keep moving. The Durbrook. They tread on in silence. When the fog finally begins to lift, they look to the north of Orblin. In the distance, they see the peak of Mount Ulvador on the horizon, the highest mountain on the island. But between them and the mount lies the Durbrook. I don't say that. Durbrook, I assume that's how you say. A marshy swamp forest seems to go on forever. Where are we going now? Then peasant girl asks Tancred. To the northern provinces. We should be safe there for now, Tancred answers. A few hours later, they reach the trees. It looms before them. Everyone hesitates before the dark and the eerie forest. Finally, Tancred summons his courage and takes the first steps into darkness. It does look very, very nasty. Lots of swamp everywhere. This place looks like something from The Witcher. Oh gosh. Tancred is dreaming again. He stands over his father's corpse once more, but it's not his father, it's Matek. Tancred reaches out to try and help him, but his feet are stuck in the mud. Grinning skulls stare up at him from the brackish water. Bony hands reach for him. Where is his sword? Tancred wakes up. It's still dark, and he's cold. He waits for the first members of his small band to awaken, pulling his cloak tightly around his shoulders. After walking all day, they need to rest. They try to save their rations, but they have. When they're ready to move on, they see their path has disappeared. To the right, a small stream flows, and to the left, someone seems to have placed a small pile of stones on top of each other. Do they mark a path? Follow the stones, follow the stream. Oh gosh, that's... Oh, I don't know how important this decision is. I personally would follow the stream, because the stream you at least have some sort of source of drinking water. And a stream would surely lead to either a lake or a river where you're more likely to find a settlement. And these rocks could be, it could be a trap. You never know. Or it could just be a grave or something that has no significance. You just get lost in the wood. I'm going to follow the stream. Either way, this could be pretty bad. The old battlefield. Further they go into the forest, the marsher it becomes. Suddenly one of the children screams. Tancred rushes over. A skull grins up from the brackish water. They've arrived at an old battlefield. Rusted weapons and pieces of armour lie everywhere. Morcar seems to know what kind of place this is. This is where the legions of Pontius were defeated by the northern tribes hundreds of years ago. Where and how the prince died is still unknown, but I wouldn't be surprised if he lies with his men in this terrible place. Returning home after the defeat was not common among the Lyrians. Okay, so I assume the swampish biome has preserved all the equipment a bit better. Unless this battle wasn't actually that long ago, maybe like 20 years ago, something like that, I don't know. Lost. The stream finally seeps into a pond. Oh, come on. After days of walking, they're tired and shaking with exhaustion. The group rests and tries to catch their breath. There's been no sign of the cultists since they left the mountains, but it still feels like they're being followed. The rebels can't have followed us. The avalanche must be blocking their path, Damien Regis says. Comet looming ominously in the sky try to orient themselves to the north, but there seems to be no end to the forest. John approaches Tancred. I saw figures behind us. I hope they're not the spirits of the fallen. I can't remember what John's voice was like. I lose track of these voices every single time I do them. Dark undergrowth warily. We can't follow that devilish comet, Tancred, Egbert says. It could be leading us in circles. You're right, says Gar. We should send out scouts tomorrow to find a way forward. Faces. Oh gosh. They arrive at a small clearing. It seems to be one of the few places where the greenery grows in this forsaken land. All around the meadow are strange stones arranged in a circle. Samorkar speaks to Tancred. Do you see the faces? Tancred looks closer. There are faces carved into the stones. Some are laughing, some are crying, some are scowling. These are Sephiru stones. They seem very old. Tancred sees something glittering under one of the stones. He reaches into the water and lifts the stone with his other hand. He tries to pull the object out of the mud. Finally, he frees it with a jerk. It's a golden chalice. Interesting, Walker says as he examines it. This is a Lurian chalice. An offering, perhaps. Tancred puts it in his pocket. It might come useful. Right, if we do this, and we do this, we don't have a chalice? We do. All your units start with 1 morale. Boom. We've now equipped the chalice. Extra morale will be helpful. So let's click that, click that. So I'm glad I was paying attention there. Let's get that chalice and let's move on deeper into the swamp. No way out. Oh god, there's some sort of raiders or cultists there. Tancred is startled by a loud argument. Just because of your supposed scouting skills that we've been walking in circles for days now. I swear I've seen that rock a zillion times. Tancred sees Jaunt standing in front of Morka. Comet hasn't moved in months. It always points north at noon. That's the truth. So Morka replies. Halt! Who goes there? A guard suddenly calls out. He walks slowly towards the bushes with his spear raised. Everyone grabs their weapons. There's a tense silence. Come out or I'll stab you, the soldier shouts. A small child comes running out of the bush, her eyes wide with fear. She pays no attention to the guard and rushes past him. Egbert grabs the girl by the collar. Whimpering, she looks towards the bushes where another figure suddenly leaps out. Oh god, a man with a worn axe and a dark hood. He grins at the sight of them, raises his horn to his lips and blows. More black-clad attackers burst from the bushes. The cultists have found them. Oh god, how the hell have the cultists caught up with us? That's what I want to know. How the hell have the cultists really caught up with us? And it's very, very concerning. But to battle we go. Okay, there's quite a lot of them. Gonna have to be pretty careful here. Yeah, there is quite a lot of them. We're just gonna have to whittle them down. Our archers here, 30 archers, is actually really, really important because the cultists have very few guys in each little company, so we might be able to take these guys out. There, just 1 kill, but oh, just 1 more kill and they're dead. Right, I'm moving my knights up here to then try and take out these guys on the hill over there. Perfect, we're just taking out their peasants there. That is brilliant stuff. Oh god, 5 spearmen against my 5 knights is annoying. So, but if I can try and take out those spearmen first, hopefully won't take any casualties from those knights. From those spearmen. Setting that place on fire though is horrid. Boom, that's those spearmen here dead. I'm trying to use these swordsmen very carefully because the swordsmen are our only thing that's actually like semi-decent that we've got here, so. Oh, we can't actually get a one-shot off on these guys. But 4 damage there. Yeah, they can't touch us now. That is brilliant. Right, so that's the swordsman, the spearmen. They're dead. I can try and push up here. Ooh, first strike. No damage on them. Very, very annoying. Right, that's those spearmen. They're dead, which leaves their base unguarded. So for a morale penalty, I might be able to grab their base. But I'm going to try and take out those archers first. And my archers are looking a little bit undefended here, but we can snipe out their horsemen. Perfect. That is their horseman dead. Yeah, we've definitely got this one in the bag. Very, very nice. And I'm going to grab their base there for that morale penalty. That's actually leveled them up into like really, really cool looking knights. Level 3 knights. That is very, very, very good. And I'm actually going to go here into the forest so that these guys can't snipe them very well. Boom! Snipe there from our archers. Oh, they have set fire to my knights here. And my knights can't charge over these bloody swamp. So I'm going to have to. But yes, that's really annoying. We can hopefully take out these crossbowmen here. Oh, bloody dummy. Bloody dummy there. Okay. It is worrying. They have got 3 swordsmen, though, on my archers. Because we're still going to win this battle. But it's the fact that... Oh, crap. Oh, crap. It's the fact that... I don't want my archers to take too many casualties because they're really, really carrying me in these battles. Oh, that's them almost finished off. Oh, I thought they were going to go for my archers then. Surprised they didn't, to be honest. Right, it's literally just these 2 guys left. Maybe I get my guys to flee. Maybe that's what I'm thinking, is get my archers to flee so they just can't be hit by these guys. Yeah, because if I lose my base, yes, I lose the morale, but we're clearly not going to lose the morale, are we? So I'm going to do it. I'm going to flee, so that way I don't... Oh, another dummy. Are you kidding me? I'm not sure why they went to melee attack my guys. Yeah, but that's them out, actually. They've lost this guy as well. Boom, and I've actually got my peasants in the base. So all is good there. We'll finish these guys off. There we go. That is them out. Victory. Yes! Okay, I don't know why I'm screaming like we did something great there. We were going to win. But I think we won without taking too many casualties either. So I'm very, very happy with that victory. Okay, that is a cultist dealt with. After the battle, the bandit leader lies on the ground in front of them. The apostle, one of the soldiers, whispers softly. One of Rundorf's men. I know him from Terrasso. Tancred looks at the face, which is twisted into a maniacal grin. Even in death, these cultists seem to be filled with hatred. A voice pulls him out of his reverie. Tancred, look who we found, Egbert says. A young woman is sitting in the clearing with a handful of children. Their hands are tied. Why are they tied up? Cut them loose, Tancred orders. They were already tied up when we found them, the guard objects. Edie smiled. I assume that's supposed to be... Edie smiled at Tancred and rubs her wrists. Thank you for rescuing us. We've been hiding here in the forest for some time. We saw a large group of rebels pass by our hiding place on the way towards Tannheim, but unfortunately they spotted us and then captured us. Let me lead you out of the forest. I know my way around here. My father and I used to wander these woods many times as merchants. Thank heavens! Finally, someone with a sense of direction, they hear Jorn exclaim. So we're down to 82 men. So I think we lost about 30 men that battle. But one of those things, you couldn't have lost any less, really. The plains. A few hours later, they're finally out of the forest. The plains of the northern Orvelin stretch as far as the eye can see, with nothing but shaggy grass and thousands of stones. The mighty Ulvador looms on the horizon, its peak mantled in grey clouds, a volcano that has not been active for 100 years. God, watch it be active now as part of the bloody story when we approach it. That is so cliche. The hell of Mount Doom. Ulvador. They reach the volcano a few days later. Safe in its shadow, they finally have time to rest. The group recovers a little, and Tancred can finally ask Jorn about what happened at Cafel's. Why did you help us? Tancred asked Jorn. It started after our battle at the bridge. There was a man who was our guest at Cafel's castle. My mother introduced him as Garath, an old companion of my father's from the Pilgrim Wars. He was a good talker, delighting everyone with his tales of adventure. But my mother was particularly fascinated by what he mentioned of his spiritual experiences at the holy sites, how it had been revealed to him that they were living in a false world and that true happiness could only be found in asceticism. Asceticism, I don't know what that is. This was all too much for me. The bandit you call Randolph was often in his company. He was a very silent, gloomy fellow. But one day, when Sir Regis came to warn us about the rebels, he immediately recognised the man as your father's murderer. Outraged, he drew his sword and demanded his surrender, but my mother had Regis arrested and locked up in the dungeon. I protested and demanded that the accusations against Randolph be investigated. But Garath declared it a mistake and threatened to never return if she released Regis. She relented and banned me from all future meetings. The only person she was allowed to continue speaking to was the accursed preacher. My mother had always been religious. Day by day, she grew more insane. She gave all her jewelry to Gareth, only in black, and prayed to Solace 5 times a day. Finally, one day, she told me that my inheritance and my name were no longer valid. Everything would now belong to the preacher's new church. I tried to persuade her to abandon her plan. My weapons and insignia were taken from me, and I was ordered to leave the castle the following day. The next day, 2 horsemen stand outside the castle. They introduce themselves as Sir Egbert and Garm of Tannheim. Oh my god. Which one I'm thinking? What happened then? Garm and Egbert were about to be captured. I decided to free Regis. The 4 of us fought our way out of Cafels and travelled to Tannheim. The next day, 2 horsemen stand outside the castle. Okay, a new church. Gareth constantly talks about how the new church didn't need houses, but only the silence of prayer. He would often be alone in the forest with my mother, praying with her in the open. Attack on Tannheim? The attack didn't come from Cafels, I swear. Let's keep riding. So we've heard a little bit of story there. Interesting stuff. Moving. The horsemen. Oh gosh, these guys look pretty cool. This is definitely insignia and banners I have not seen before. On the horizon, they see a cloud of dust. Armed horsemen on shaggy horses approach, bearing a banner with a silver seagull on blue background.